Hello and welcome to another edition of the Consumer Quarter. I'm Simon Palin. On the show today, Australia's cafe culture filters into the UK.
It's more relaxed.
The poached eggs were brilliant.
And a winter wonderland emerges in regional Queensland.
It's just something to do in the summer holidays.
But first, it's that time of year when many of us are trying to get refunds for unwanted Christmas gifts. It's estimated 17 million presents given each Christmas are unloved by those who receive them. But as we know, getting refunds or even exchanges can be difficult. Many gift recipients resort to flogging the unwanted gifts on online auction sites. And to make the whole gift-giving process easier and more efficient, many of us are simply choosing to give gift vouchers instead. It's never easy to pick the right present for someone.
You can either buy the wrong gift in the wrong colour, you can buy the wrong size, the wrong shape.
Occasionally we get it right, but mostly we don't. For many, it's easy to let the gift recipient decide exactly what they want. And that's why Australians are now spending an estimated $1.5 billion on gift vouchers each year.
You can buy a gift voucher, then they can buy something that they like.
I tend to buy gift vouchers quite a lot for people. Probably laziness as well, I'd imagine.
It's a huge market over in the States and it's a growing trend here.
Our surveys tell us that around 73% of us are going to buy a gift voucher for at least somebody in the family and maybe more than one person. So yes, they are becoming increasingly popular.
But according to recent research, around 25% of those gift vouchers won't be redeemed before they expire. That means the retailers are getting money for nothing.
More efficient for the consumer, probably more efficient for the retailer too, quite honestly.
Charities are also attracting more money by offering gift vouchers, both directly to gift buyers and through websites that sell vouchers on behalf of many charities.
As a non-profit foundation, all the funds are going to the foundation, and if a voucher isn't redeemed for whatever reason, then the funds are still there to be allocated to charity.
Still, some say gift cards lack the personal touch.
I guess it's thoughtless in some senses, lacks personality.
If you're buying a gift for someone that you know well, you should know them well enough to be able to go in and purchase them something that they would be happy with.
And internet security experts say those who buy vouchers online should make sure they're coming from a trusted source. A tobacco company that's using Australian images to sell cigarettes overseas has drawn the wrath of the federal government. British American Tobacco is marketing its cigarettes in Europe as an Australian favourite. Far from it, says the architect of laws to remove branding from cigarette packets.
It's sneaky, it's inappropriate, it's un-Australian rather than using Australia as an icon, and should not be used to promote cigarettes to the rest of the world.
But the government admits it can't really stop the company from doing it. Well, many Australian food suppliers and manufacturers are calling for the introduction of a supermarket ombudsman. The Food and Grocery Council says the extra regulation is needed to ensure Coles and Woolworths negotiate fairly with local suppliers.
A similar approach is currently being put in place in the UK, where they have a concentration of ownership in the hands of a few supermarkets, but nothing near Australia. Australia and New Zealand have the highest concentration of supermarket ownership in the world. And I think that really shows that the ACCC and governments over the years have really failed in keeping a really competitive market working in this country.
That's Kate Carnell there, and for the first time in its 30-year history, the retail giant Harvey Norman says it has no plans for any major new stores to be opened in Australia. Billionaire retailer Gerry Harvey has said instead he's targeting growth markets overseas such as Malaysia. Mr Harvey has strongly criticised what he says is unfair competition from overseas online retailers, and he says it's now got to the stage where there are no incentives to open major stores in Australia. Well, there are some retailers which have had good reason to smile into the new year. The Boxing Day sales brought consumers out spending big, but generally speaking it was a horror 2011 and also a poor lead into Christmas. Amelia Marshall takes a look at how things played out for the retailers over the holidays.
In the days before Christmas, retailers were working overtime. This shopping centre resembled a nightclub.
Just before Christmas goes off.
It was open for 40 hours straight and the shoppers were there well into the night.
It is possible right now. It's doing our last minute shopping.
On Christmas Eve, there was no shortage in demand for alcohol.
I'm trying to cope with everything in the same way that I always have.
At liquor outlets, they couldn't restock the shelves quickly enough this Christmas Eve.
I was just looking here thinking we're breeding a nation full of pissheads.
But for other retailers, the late flurry of last-minute Christmas shoppers didn't come.
It'll be solid, not spectacular. We probably won't see quite the level of growth we had hoped, and we're a little way off a recovery.
3, 2, 1.
But then on Boxing Day, discounts of up to 60% finally lured the shoppers in.
About 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Got him ready and I wake him up.
I've only ever been in
Last
one,
time.
This is my first year.
My first time as well.
Yeah, we just thought we'd come and check it out.
We usually make fun of everyone that does the Boxing Day sales. But yeah, feeling a bit hypocritical right now.
The Boxing Day sales raked in an estimated $1 billion.
People that have actually saved through the most of the season are out shopping today, so we're really pleased with the response.
There were similar scenes from Brisbane to Hobart, although in Melbourne the rain kept numbers down.
Well, those Boxing Day sales seemed a little subdued compared to the UK. There, thousands of excited shoppers couldn't wait to get through the doors after queuing for hours.
We didn't spend much throughout the year, so we kind of saved up for this.
Like in Australia, retailers in London were offering huge discounts to lure customers after a tough trading year. And still in London, which is a city not well renowned for its cafes or coffee, but now a group of Australian expats have taken it upon themselves to revolutionise London's cafe culture. Here's the ABC's Europe correspondent, Philip Williams.
In a side street in central London, the coffee machine grinds and gurgles away all day. This is Lantana, one of a new breed of pioneering Australian-style cafes that are importing an experience we take for granted.
When I first came to London, I was just blown away by how difficult it was to go to a Melbourne-style cafe or an Australian-style cafe where you can just get really good coffee and good food in a casual environment.
Well, the expat crowd immediately gravitated to something familiar. Over time, the locals too have embraced this Australian style.
It's more relaxed.
The poached eggs were brilliant.
London is awash in coffee shops, mainly huge chains. But as any coffee-addicted Australian will tell you, it's slim sippins when it comes to quality, and that's where our history has given us an edge. Quality coffee is also the hallmark of the Railroad Cafe in Hackney. It's another of the Australian startups changing the face of London's cafe culture. This one in the regenerating east of the city.
The influence that's come with these pioneering Australian cafes has definitely changed the way people think about cafes and the kind of things they expect and want from a cafe, and also from coffee, obviously.
Here the customers come from all backgrounds, and it's not just the way the food and coffee tastes, it's also the feel of the place. And the ultimate compliment, the copycats are busy trying to recreate a success born in a faraway land.
Well, consumer habits in China continue to change as the population there becomes increasingly wealthy. The latest sensation is surfing. And even though only 100 Chinese nationals surf, beach lovers are confident the industry will continue to swell.
Darcy Liu represents the changing face of China's evolving surf culture. Originally from the landlocked Hunan province, she took up the sport 4 years ago after moving to the beach with her husband.
Before, it's a lot of people surf here, but it's all foreigner people, but they're living in China, so they're coming down to Highland to surf. Right now, there's more Chinese people getting interested in this sport.
With almost 15,000 kilometres of shoreline, China's surfing culture is confined to a relatively tiny stretch of beach near the South China Sea. Culturally, China isn't a nation of swimmers. A bronzed beach body is also frowned upon because tans are often associated with the rural poor. But leading the change is 32-year-old Brendan Sheridan, who made the bold move to open China's first surf shop in 2006.
It's easy because, I was one of the first, so you don't have to worry about competition too much, but difficult because I've been having to build the market almost single-handedly.
The local economy is likely to benefit from the emerging market with a steady flow of international tourists. But attracting locals will continue to prove difficult with a surfboard costing, on average, 2 months' salary.
And finally, just as China is not known for its surfing, Queensland is not known for its winter sports. But in one regional city, that's all changing. Melissa Madison reports from Mackay.
The hot summer usually forces many North Queenslanders indoors. But in the tropics, a winter wonderland has taken shape. It's taken 6 kilometres of aluminium tubing, more than 2,000 connectors and more than 18 months of planning to create the spectacle. Organisers say it's attracted a lot of interest.
We've actually sold thousands of tickets now. I think we're up to about 3,000 tickets in advance, so some of the sessions have already sold out. We've got staff that have worked here for over 20 years, and some of the feedback I've been getting is they've never experienced anything like this, and all people want to do is talk about ice skating. It is just phenomenal.
Generators are helping to keep the ice frozen, but steps have been taken to ensure they're as efficient as possible.
The good thing is that it uses an aluminium piping system which has got the best possible heat transfer, so it's the greenest possible ice rink you can have.
It's the first time a large-scale ice rink has been set up in Mackay.
We've got disco nights on Friday nights, which promise to be fantastic. They're going to be retro nights. We've got 2 great DJs. It's going to be music from the 70s and 80s, so all that popular trash, if you like. We'll have ABBA, we'll have the mirror balls going, and lots of fun. I know people are going to be getting dressed up.
The ice rink even comes complete with penguins, not the feathered variety, but small aids to help novice skaters.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, a lot of people think Mackay has nothing to do and then they bring in an ice skating rink, so it's been a lot of fun. And a lot of people don't know how, so it's something new to try. It's pretty good, just something to do in the summer holidays.
How fun is it? Is it fun?
Yes.
What's the best bit?
Slide. Yeah, I like the skating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the skating. Just like, because you don't really get that much snow and ice in Australia. It's awesome.
Plans have already been made to bring the ice rink back in 2013.
That report from Melissa Madison, and that's all for this edition of the Consumer Quarter. Thank you for joining us. If you've got any feedback or even story ideas, please feel free to get in touch online on Twitter at Simon Palin or on Facebook. Search for the Consumer Quarter and click like to stay up to date. And I'll see you next time.